Hello there. Welcome back to Grade 11 Tourism. In this video, we want to look at a question on tourism sectors. So we are going to look at question 7 of this question paper. 7.1 reads, study the college and answer the questions. So you are given different pictures that you are given there, whereby we have got a picture A going down to the next picture that we have, that is obviously going to be our picture B. We go to C. Going down, you see that we've got a continuation of those pictures, whereby we put also D that you need to understand, and E, we have E again. So questions that follow. The first question that we have read, we just try to zoom out. So the first question that we have is, name one document that a passenger must hand to the airline staff member when checking in for a flight and the counters labeled A. So we need one document that a passenger must hand to the airline staff. So we are referring to a counter labeled A. So we refer back, we see that counter labeled A. We have it here as our counter labeled A. So basically, our A. So what document, obviously, if you come here, you'd see that we have got passengers that are there. And, obviously, that's where we have handing in of those documents. So we are going to have identity documents being handed in. Remember, a passport also is part of that. If it's a driver's license, it's also part of that. So it's just an identification document that is going to in that section. So we have them listed in another section whereby saying identity document, which is the ID. We can also use a passport, the driver's license, or the proof of identification. So referring back to our question, it is that our question only requires us to come up with one document. So we can just put one document. So moving on to the next question, 7.1.2. Say the area of airport building that the area labeled C is located in. So we refer back, I would say that we've got our C. We can maybe just try to. We see that we have got a sort of a counter that we have there, and we've got passengers that are in a queue. So it's written baggage claim area. So it's the baggage claim area, and which the question is asking us which area is that in the airport. So you are going to see that that's the airside area. That is going to be the airside area, whereby we are saying airside or the terminal building. Remember, the terminal building, it is at the building at the airport where passengers transfer between ground transportation and the facilities that allow them to board, or they might be disembarking from an aircraft. So that's the same as airside. So we have airside or terminal building. So we go to the next part. Um, List one advantage of a passenger making use of the equipment labeled B. So we refer back to B. You see that B is a package rep. So what advantage do we deduce from using a package rep? So obviously, the package rep is there to protect. It's there to protect the contents that is inside the baggage, and also we can try to see that it prevents the contents inside to be tampered with. So it say that there will be no tampering of, that might take place with the contents that are inside the baggage. So this is what we have. So we have also those reasons are listed in the other section, whereby saying wrapping the package will protect the contents of the item of luggage from being tampered with. And then another point, wrapping the package will protect the contents of the item of luggage should the zip break. So if the zip of the luggage breaks, obviously the baggage wrapper will be there now to act as a zip whereby it protects what is inside. So that's what we have on that part. So moving on to the next question, which is going to be 7.1.4. Give one advantage for a business class passenger when he or she is in the area labeled D. So we go to D. What is the advantage of a business class passenger? So obviously, the business class passenger is going to be attended first in favor of the economy passenger. So basically, that's the advantage that we have. So we are saying it isn't. Again, you are going to see that business class passengers is an intermediate level of service between economy class and first class, but they are prioritized over the economy class. So that's what we have on that part. So going to our other section, we see that explanation that we have reads business class passengers are allowed to board the airplane before the economy class passengers. So that becomes the first point. And then there may be a business lounge where business class passengers can relax and they will not have to sit on the uncomfortable chairs in the image. So that's what do we have in terms of advantages that we can deduce from business class passengers. So moving on to the next part of our question, you are going to see that we are now on 7.1.5. Explain two steps in the check-in procedure other than the step mentioned in question 7.1.1. 7.1.1, we have got the handing in of the identity document, so we are not going to include that one. That a passenger must follow when checking in for a flight. So obviously, we also have those other procedures that has to be followed, whereby the staff member will check if the passenger is booked on the flight. So that's another step that should be there. And then the staff member will ask the passenger if he or she has preference for a specific seat in the airplane. And that's another response that is also correct. If the passenger has luggage, it will be weighed, and the staff member will put on the luggage ticket on it, and it will be loaded in the airplane. That's another option. And then the staff member will give the passenger a boarding pass, which will allow him or her to board at the airplane. So basically, these are the points that we have that can be also correct concerning our question. 7.1.5. So we can just choose two steps according to the requirements of the question. So 7.1.6, explain the function of the counter labeled E in the image. So if you go to E, you'll see that E is here. So the question is asking the functions of E. So that's where the final verification is going to take place, whereby the boarding pass, remember when the passenger reaches this counter, will be having a pass, and that boarding pass is going to be verified against the identity document to see if we have the correct person going to board the aeroplane. So this is another a procedure that is going to be at counter E. So we see that what we have in terms of other section. So that's the final verification of passengers will be boarding a specific flight is done in this counter by the relevant airline. And then the airline staff member will check the passenger pass and the identification, and will allow him or her access to the airplane. So this is what we have for that part. Then we have 7.1.7. Which reads suggests one way where AXA can indicate to disembarking passengers which carousel they should use when collecting their baggage in the image labeled C. So we've got labeled C. We are here, and the question is saying state one way where AXA can indicate it to disembarking passengers. So we are going to say that they will obviously use an electronic board. They will use electronic board. That is exactly as we are having in the other section, whereby I say AXA provides an electronic board above the carousel indicating the airline and flight number that that passengers disembarked from. So remember, AXA stands for Airport Company of South Africa. So this is the correct response that we have. Moving on to 7.2, it reads start the diagram below, whereby you are given 7.21, 7.2.1 to 7.2.5. So beneath the diagram, it reads Tando is renting a vehicle for the first time and is unsure about some of the details of the rental agreement. Assist him by responding to each of the following queries. 7.2.1 says name the preferred method of payment when renting a vehicle. Obviously, it's going to be our credit card. We have our credit card. Is the first correct response that we have got the credit card. And then on the second part, it reads identify one type of optional equipment that can be included in the rental agreement. Remember, we have got safety belts that can also be a part of that. whereby you are saying child safety seats. We also have GPS. We can also talk about the paraplegic hand controls. So those are some of the items that should be included. We go to the next part of our question, whereby discuss the concept of a fuel deposit. Remember, the concept of a fuel deposit, it states that when the car is being collected, it will be having fuel. So the one who is renting should pay the amount, the equivalent of the value of the fuel that is in the vehicle, and when that becomes the deposit. And when the person is returning the vehicle, a refund is made according to the value of the fuel that is inside when the vehicle is being returned. So when returning the quality of the vehicle the quality of the fuel that will be in the vehicle should be the same with the quality of the fuel that was inside when the vehicle was collected. So that's the concept that we have for 7.2.3, whereby we are saying when the vehicle is rented and the fuel tank is full, the renter is expected to return the vehicle with a full tank of fuel. The rental company will charge the amount of a full tank of fuel to the rental agreement and refund the amount if the vehicle's fuel tank is full on return. So that is the essence of that. So moving on to the next part, which is now explain the difference between CW and SCW. Remember, CW stands for a collision damage waiver, and SCDW stands for a super collision damage waiver. So obviously, we are going to see that the amount paid for SC and DW obviously is going to be more than the CDW. So the difference that we have on that part is that CDW stands for collision damage waiver, and then if the renter takes the SCDW option, the premium payment will be higher, but the excess payment will be less if the vehicle is involved in a collision or accident. So that's the explanation. So moving on to the next part, which is now going to be 7.2.5, explain the function of the contract fee. So contract fee is just an amount that is going to cover administration cost. So it's going to be an additional amount that will be there. So the explanation that we have is that amount added to the rental fee of the vehicle that covers the administration cost of the rental company. So that becomes the last part of the question that we are looking at. And thank you for listening, and hopefully the video was helpful. And please, let's not forget to subscribe and share to our channel. And let's take note what typical examination questions will be uploaded on this channel. So let's stay tuned. Let's meet again in the next video.